You guess it will work.
I guess that'll work.
We can make that work. That's fine. That's
I am going to open my subtlety,
subtlety.
which is a blood orange tea. It pretty much has real tea, fruit juice, vodka, water. That's it, and carbonated. And it's a blood orange vodka tea iced tea drink.
It sounds fancy. I'm currently having alcoholic ginger beer.
Oh, nice. Oh shit!
Something a bit light.
Hang on.
Oh.
It's
a disaster.
It's a boy.
Muzzle tov.
Oh, far out.
Actually, that's a good point. Evolution. I need to add that to that list. While I think about it, that needs to be added to the list.
What is it?
Evolution. The movie.
Oh yeah, that's so good.
That needs to be on the list. Need to get that on the list.
That's right.
Especially in a couple of years, Eddie will find that hilarious. But anyway.
Yeah, I feel like I just go to that place next door. So for anybody listening, there is a bottle shop like right next door to my house. Like if I open the garage, which is literally directly in front of us, I'm in the tiniest of laneways that literally opens up into the bottle shop car park. And they have some random shit there. So I tend to find like I just go in there, because I'm only going to have one. I tend to find that I'm just going to go in there and legitimately just buy something random.
What do I fancy?
Which is why I had that weird Japanese lemon tea before. I've got the blood orange vodka today.
Yeah. Well, if it all works, if I say it's all good.
I'm going.
It's only you're going to miss it when you move.
Yeah, I am. Because I think the closest bottle shop is, it's a ways down the road. It's right next to Coles. But
you mean you're gonna have to plan to actually have your beer ready?
I'm gonna have to have beer in the fridge.
I'm just grabbing a beer, and I know that you're going next door for 5 minutes. It's gonna have to plan this.
Yeah, I know. That's the biggest thing. I'm probably just not gonna have beer, to be fair.
Dorks Down Under. Right. Anyway, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Dorks Down Under, Season 3, Episode 24. I want to say a big thank you to everyone who watched last week's episode regarding Deadpool and Wolverine. It's going to really good. I'll say I haven't seen it again yet.
You haven't
seen it again yet. I haven't had time. It's not for lack of attempting to go. It's literally I have had zero time this week, sort of thing. So it's
And to be fair though, you've got a future All Black on your hands as well with
yes. My son's team won their first rugby game this weekend. That was and what was really good. It wasn't just a win. It was a beating. It was a beating. But to be fair, it did help. I mean, it wasn't the fact that the other team was sucky. The fact is that this is the first team where they're not facing a whole row of monsters. Because some of the kids on these teams, right? It's like, what are they being fed?
Yeah.
What is in the water? What's in the air? It's ridiculous. Some of these teams.
When you're like, this is a 10-year-old and he's like 6'7" and like 250 pounds. You're like, that can't be right.
It's like, nah, brother. I want to see a birth certificate. Yeah. I want genealogy testing. What giant clan did he descend from? That's what you want.
Which is great.
But yeah, so. It's been a very, very busy week, sort of thing, and so I haven't had a chance to go see Dipper and my totally, completely legitimate legal site that I can watch movies on. Sadly, only has a cam version, which doesn't do it justice. So
I sent you a link to one that was a bit better.
Yeah, I know.
But it's still cam version.
I am willing to wait. I'm willing to wait, even though I am really considering going to the cinema again. Yeah.
Which
I'm trying to resist. Sort of thing, but especially because I want it to be available in HD soon, so I can because Ellie wants to do a marathon. We're going to do a marathon of the movies.
That's kind of cool.
One a night, and then we can because she hasn't seen 2. She thought 1 was good, so she hasn't seen 2. So I've warned her, don't set your sights too high.
Yeah, 2 was weird. Like 2, I was like I enjoyed it, but it wasn't the same. And I felt like I get that the problem is like once that opening scene from the original Deadpool, you were like, this is epic. Like the way they had done this, like I honestly think they put half their budget in that just to hit it with a bang. And then the second one did fall a bit short. Like it was still a great film. Like don't get me wrong, I'm not saying in any way it was bad, but it wasn't the same. And then the third one, they did pretty much the exact same that they did with the first, where they just went going balls to the wall. First scene. Insanity.
I don't know what happened with number 2. I've got a feeling there was some form of producing issue with a producer or direction or something like that. Yeah. Someone was interfering, it felt like, anyway. But anyway, we've enough Deadpool and Wolverine talk. Oh god, my shoulder's still bad. I had to go see the osteo. I went to see the osteo
Oh,
on Friday,
I was
and
like from the movie. I'm like, that's friggin' random.
oh no, well, from all this gym stuff, I've yanked something in my shoulder
Oh
quite
yeah,
badly, and so I've been seeing an osteo for the last couple of for what I've been 2 or 3 sessions now,
yeah.
and yeah, the noises she cracks out my spine when she's realigning muscles is horrible.
Oh mate, that's one thing. That's one thing I do miss about going. I used to go to a chiropractor regularly because I found that it actually used to help with some of my headaches because some of the
Yeah.
tension was into my neck and stuff, and it was probably where I was working at the time because it was like really like it was a weird setup, and I was just like, yeah, nah. But I'm just like, holy crap! Like the number of times she'd snap my neck, and I'd actually feel like I'd actually see stars, and my head would just feel like super fuzzy, and I'm like,
Honestly,
give me a
I
sec.
won't go to a Cairo. I am terrified of what will happen.
They're actually really good. Like I must say, I'm like you, man. I was just like,
Yeah.
they're gonna crack me in ways that just feel weird, and I don't want to do that.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I know that. I mean, I go for acupuncture, and I know some people will wince and go, "Hell no!"
Yeah,
I already
I've
know
got
some
to,
people will be like, "Hell no! No one's screwing needles into me." And it's like, yeah, I know, but it
yeah,
works.
yeah.
It does work.
I'm one of them. I've got a small phobia of needles.
Oh, so acupuncture would be really good for you.
Well, the thing is, though, is as a kid, I got jumped, and I had a knife stuck just about 3.5 centimeters above one of my kidneys. And yeah, ever since then, when people try to stab me with stuff, I for some reason don't like it.
Really, I wonder why.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying. I'm trying
Wonder
to
why.
figure it out.
It could be, maybe past trauma.
I don't
Maybe
know.
could be. You never know.
I don't know. I'm not a therapist, so I don't want to diagnose it. But I must say the two things possibly could be linked.
It could be.
Possibly.
You never know. You do never know.
I don't want to make a call on it this early into it.
Right. Anyway, this week's episode, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a shorter one than last week's. And my video is still exporting. That's how big it is.
Yeah, I must say we rambled a bit. We were a bit too excited, I think.
An hour and 12 minutes.
Was it that long?
We
Damn.
rambled on. When I cut out the bits, the dead bits at the beginning of the end, I was like, oh my god, there's still over an hour.
Far out. Fuck, we talk
God.
we talk some shit.
Oh god. Although it's hilarious how I realised after the fact that there was one important cameo character we didn't mention when we talked about when he was jumping through the worlds for Wolverines. We didn't mention Old Man Logan cameo where he shoots him with the shotgun when he walks up to the front porch and he lifts him. He's got the full grey beard, but he shoots it and he's got on the cowboy hat and he shoots him with a shotgun. He doesn't even try and kill him.
Did we? I didn't think. Oh yeah, and they shot him straight back through the time portal.
Yeah, no, we didn't.
But who was that? I thought that was.
That was a thing. It's Old Man Logan from the Old Man Logan comic.
Yeah, that's what I thought. But I didn't think it was a cameo. I thought it was.
But yeah, no, we mentioned all the different Wolverines that he bumps into, sort of thing, and this is one of the ones we didn't mention. And I was anyway. But it's amazing what you think about after you finish having a natter for an hour. Anyway,
it is funny too, considering how much of a natter we did have, because it was very much that.
Absolutely.
But that being said, though, it's hard not to get that excited. I think it worked out that it made worldwide. I think domestically in the US, it made $205 million on its opening weekend.
Yeah.
And then it made 435.8, and it's like the highest rated R-rated film and stuff.
It will be. I will be shocked if it doesn't get Movie of the Year.
Yeah.
I don't know how it doesn't. There's gonna have to be another big film, but I can't. I've had a look, and I can't see a film that's been more hyped than this one.
Yeah.
So far, I don't.
One thing that I found weird, so when I was talking to Big J, one of my best mates, yesterday, and as I was scrolling through Facebook, it actually had like the list of the top 10 films.
Yeah.
And it was Avatar. Okay, cool. Then there was like you can like the first Avatar, the way they did the 3D was amazing.
Yeah,
completely understand that. There was Titanic. Oh no, sorry, it was Avengers Endgame. Then it was Titanic. Then it was Force Awakens, which had like 2.8 billion or something. And then I think it was Infinity Wars. There was something else, but then the bottom three were like Jurassic Park. No, sorry, The Way of Water was third or fourth. The new Avatar, and I'm like, I didn't think that was that high.
Yeah.
And then it was,
Yeah.
I think it was, the last three were weird. Like it was Jurassic Park, the one with Chris Pratt. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that was good, but I didn't think it made that much money, but okay. It was like 1.5 or 1.6. Then there was something else that was also a bit random. And then there was In and Out 2. Was the 10th.
Okay. All right.
So I was like, kind of weird, but okay.
Yeah, I'm literally looking, and yeah, I mean, you've got things like Moana 2 and stuff,
Yeah.
but they're coming out in November, so they'd have to be huge. Sonic the Hedgehog 3 is out in December.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't think there is going to be a Gladiator 2's out. Yeah, I don't think there will be another big man. Yeah, because Venom: The Last Dance is coming out, but that's not going to be bigger than Deadpool.
No. And I must
Or
say,
the second Joker movie. I didn't like the first one, so I don't know who's going to see that.
I've sat down to try to watch that like half a dozen times, and I reckon I've got like maybe 20 minutes into it. I'm just like, I can't connect with Joaquin Phoenix.
Boring. It's boring.
Yeah.
It really is boring. I mean, you got Beetlejuice in September.
I must say, I'm hella excited for that.
That could
With
be a good
Michael
one.
Keaton back, with Winona Ryder back, Tim Burton. Like, I feel like it is going to be pretty bloody epic.
Oh, I've just realised that in this week, Borderlands is coming out.
I'm excited for that, but I'm more.
Oh yeah, I know you're excited. We all know you're excited for that.
But like, and I'm like, like I really want to see that so bad. Like,
the different trailer that I saw for, I think it was when I was watching Deadpool, looked a lot better than the teaser one. So I was like, okay, all right.
The teaser one was cool because and the problem with that is if you are a massive Borderlands fan, there was enough in that teaser that made you get a little bit chubby. But you were still like, but how are they going to do this? Like, you've shown these stills of all these cool stuff from Borderlands, but how's it going to go? Like, I must say, Kate Blanchett, I was like, nah. But as I see the trailer, I'm like, it's a bit better. Jack Black as Claptrap, like, I love Jack Black. He's funny as hell. He's great, but I don't understand why you didn't just get the voice of Claptrap. That is the one thing that I'm just like, the hell?
Yeah, you're wondering why. Well, hang on. If you've gone to all this, I understand it's a major role, but still, it's like, seriously, the voice is already there. Go ask him. Yeah. I'm sure he's not going to turn you down.
Well, even he was surprised that he wasn't asked. And I think Tiny Tina is the other one that I was like a bit weird because it was in Borderlands. I think she appeared a little bit in Borderlands 2 and people loved and adored her, so they brought it back in Borderlands 3 and then she got her own spin-off. But one thing I must say, though, is that it is weird because she's like this blonde, ditzy kind of girl that's kind of a bit cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs, but just happens to know explosives. And in it, she's kind of like fun and cutesy, where in this one, it's weird because they've kept her blonde, but then made her Latina. So the blonde hair doesn't look great on her. Because I'm like, Latinas, keep your hair dark, man. You are stunning. You don't need to make your hair blonde. That's all I'm saying. But and I just feel like she's playing it a bit too. Like she's in the series, Tiny Tina is more of, she knows kind of what she's doing. She knows this, but she's kind of still got this kid mentality, where if she feels more like this, like a little brat teenager. But because she's a brat teenager, you kind of like, it doesn't fit with the fact that she's good with explosives or she's going to blow stuff up, because she kind of has that disassociation. So I'm like, well, that could just be me.
It will be interesting. But anyway, so this week's episode is a random episode, ladies and gentlemen. But there are a couple of things I would like to discuss.
We're not allowed to say the word because supposedly we get sued. So I'm going to call them the multicolor hula hoop games.
Yes, the multicolor hula hoop games. Yes, we're going to discuss that because some of the things that have come out of that.
I didn't realize this, but there was a radio station in Melbourne called Nova, and they've mentioned the word several times, and they've been told not to, because every time they do, they have to pay a royalty or pay a fee, or they are likely to get fined. Okay,
so the multi hula hoop.
Multicolor hula hoop games.
Multicolor, yeah, we're going to discuss that. We're also going to discuss my current favorite obsession and pastime, which is Helldivers 2, because there's a lot of things has happened, and I want to unpack it. So I'm going to get onto that first.
I thought it was going to be Fake Taxi, so I'm glad that we've gone.
Fake Taxi. So, basically, as of a couple of weeks ago, we had a huge major announcement in Helldivers 2, which is they're going to be releasing this big new It's not a DLC. It is like a big new update to the game. They're giving us loads of new enemies and stuff like that, which looks really cool, sort of thing. And the best thing is that Arrowhead said, we're not showing you everything in the trailer because we want you to actually still have some surprise.
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice because the way Arrowhead have tend to spoil stuff for us all is they like to a developer suddenly is in your lobby and he's dropping stuff and saying, oh, here you go, you can use this. And people go, oh my god, this is so cool. And then clips get leaked and then it's generating hype and all this jazz. So that's the way they were doing it. And they've kind of realized that they can't do that because people are getting too hyped for certain things and going, where's my vehicles? Where's this? You know, we know you're working on them, you know, and we get it. You know, I get it. There's a lot of back-end work that has to happen. But the problem is that they've shown people stuff and people are like, please give me this, please give me this. So they're getting hounded all the time, which is fine. But anyway, so we're getting some cool new... We're getting a return enemy from Helldivers 1, which is the Impaler on the bug side. We're also getting a bigger, badder brood commander who summons bigger, badder units, which is quite interesting. On the bot side, we are getting... Basically, they've got an artillery tank. It acts as a SAM site as well as firing them as mortars. So that's going to be horrible.
Yeah, that's going to be disgusting.
Yeah, and they've also the chicken walker, the chicken walkers that they have, or sorry, as they call them, scout striders in the Helldivers universe. Oh, they're getting fully armored by looks of it, so that's going to be even more fun to deal with. Looking forward to that. And the other big thing they announced was that they're going to give us... So right now the game goes up to difficulty level 9, which is Helldive. They're giving us level 10.
Oh, so what does that mean?
I have no idea, but I'll tell you now, right? I can do Helldive if I'm playing with a squad with people with mics and we're coordinating, and I actually have a bit of trust in these people. I will not play random lobbies at 9. Absolutely no way, shape, or form, because it is horrific. Like, you land into hell. It is hard enough at 9. I can't envision what 10 looks like. Okay? Yeah. And I don't want to. I can already tell the nightmare that's going to be. So anyway.
Do you reckon also Helldivers is going to go down that same kind of vein? So obviously with the new release of WoW coming up, they have released a few things, which including doing instance and dungeons with AI bots. Yes. Do you reckon as Helldivers gets off and as things start to fade a little bit, they're going to go down that route? Or
well, this is the thing. The reason why they announced this big thing, because obviously from the PlayStation horribleness that did occur, the player base, which was at like, I think it was 350,000 at its peak or whatever it was, and we're down to roughly, I think, about 50,000.
Oh wow, that is huge.
Yeah, it's huge. Okay. Most people have done it out of the ban and blah blah blah, or people, you know, it's a big mix of why people aren't playing it. But since they announced this update and they're giving out lots of, you know, they're putting a lot more stuff into the game, people have started creeping back in, and I've noticed the player count. Like, I was playing last night, and I was bored of playing at high level, and I thought, you know what, I want to coast.
Yeah. So
I decided to jump on some of the easier difficulties, and I joined random squads, and I was helping, you know, like level 6s who were joined, and they're struggling, and here's me coming along. But
like only Jordan can, where he makes friends and gets daddy vibes, which is not what a lot of people would refer to as daddies.
No. But I was being helpful. In fact, I met the guy with a mic who's playing from Newcastle, sort of thing. So I joined him. I joined a random lobby he was in, and I said, oh, that's a familiar accent I recognise. And then he was like, oh my god. I said, I can place yours, but I can't quite place yours. And we had a good banter. We were dissing each other, you know, because of course he's from Geordie land and I'm from Cumbria. So we're kind of arch enemies already. So we were having good vibes for a couple of hours last night. It was good fun. But but the player base is starting to increase again. They've just also announced the new war bond, which is basically fire. It fire weapons, fire things, and you get you can unlock the title of fire safety officer.
So I take it you just can't be like, flame on!
I am looking forward to this one, just so I can have the title fire safety officer.
That's brilliant. I just want you to be like, he's going to see it, and Jordan's just going to be like,
I will.
Yeah.
I will say it.
You have to. It'd be rude not to. I must say though, I'm
I will.
still very, very tempted to get it. The problem is though, is they're just really not doing any specials on it, and I'm like, $60. Like unless I'm putting in some serious time into it, I can't
No,
warrant spending that at the
I get that.
moment.
No, that's fine. But yeah, but this is so one of the funny. We actually predicted something on this podcast that's actually come true.
What?
Which oh yes, right now. So this is one of the other major things. Obviously, as we've discussed from the game, you have these major orders, i.e., get the collective to work towards a common goal.
Yes.
Okay. So right now, the bots were expanding, and we had this thing, and we had to take over 5 planets in. I think we had 4 days. It was looking grim. We got down to only having 1 planet left, and we failed by about, say, I think it was like half a day.
Yeah.
If we had another half a day, we could have done it. Now, bear in mind, we've had all these other major orders, and we've had lots of successes and stuff like that. But yeah, we failed this one. So,
Is this the first one you guys have failed, or?
oh, in a while, sort of thing. We tend to do them, sort of thing, but they've been a bit grindy, sort of thing. So this one was a bit of a a lot of people like, I don't know if we can do it, but we've done it before, so we could maybe do it again.
Yeah.
Sort of thing. So we had that mentality. It got down to the wire, and yeah, we failed it. Fine, these things happen. I went to bed. I woke up knowing that the order was going to fail because it was, there was still 6 hours, and I was like, yeah, there's no way it's going to happen. Blah blah blah. So I woke up, notification on my Helldivers app thing that I've got. And it's like, oh, major order failed. Yeah. Oh, new major order. And I was like, cool. I thought that's a bit quick, but sure, I'll have a look at that. And basically, the thing that they give out a little bit of storyline to progress it because it's DM based, so which is cool.
Yeah.
And they just said, so they're gonna we have to kill 1.5 trillion enemies, okay, for the new order.
Is that the one that you sent me?
Yes.
Yeah, because I was counting the zeros. I'm like,
yeah,
wait,
1.5 trillion enemies. Right, fine. And we've got 4 days to do it. Again, yeah, possibly. Yeah, should be all right. Should be sweet. Basically, what they said was, if we fail, and this is so right. If we fail, normally it's like, hang on, no. Sure, you say if you pass, this is your reward. They said if you fail, we're going to give you the anti-tank mine stratagem that none of us have taken in any time it's been offered. As we said, we had the first chance it was offered. It was between that or a ballistic rocket pod, like an airburst strike one. So we all chose that. Okay, fine, fair dues. Then they gave us the option of, oh, do you want your new anti-tank mines, or do you want to go save the children's hospital? And there's no reward, just FYI. There's no reward if you do that one. So we all chose the children's hospital because it could have been a reward. It could have been a reward.
That still makes me so laugh, but I do love the fact that they actually gave back.
Yeah.
Yes,
and it was good. But the fact is now is literally it's basically so this is the choice, right? Because there's a big new major update coming out in a couple of days' time because it's like next Tuesday. So obviously it's like, oh, if you want, kill 1.5 trillion enemies and you're not going to get anything, or just sit back and relax and we're going to give you something. As you can imagine.
Yeah, you went for the 1 trillion, didn't you?
As you can imagine, the general consensus among the community is we don't want it. We're all logging on. The amount of people that I was playing with last night who says, yeah, so is everyone else on here so we just don't get the anti-tank mines? Yeah, make. Yeah, and literally that's how everybody was doing.
Like it's so like, ridiculous, but I kind of love it, and I love the fact that like most times when people do this, like you tend to find that the the developers will kick back, but they kind of haven't. They're just kind of like, we love that people are going this stupid to the point where we're like, aha, you got to kill 1 trillion or you're getting this, and people are like, no, screw it, we're gonna kill this 1 trillion.
We can do this, boys.
And it's so dumb, but I kind of love it.
I mean, I played, how many hours did I do last night? I did like 4.5 hours of Helldiving last night. And we started off as 9%, which had already been done. So, okay, great, fab. When I ended, it was 21%. So that's a jump.
Damn, son.
And I'm just like, yes, boys, we can do this. But it is funny. Like, you see all the comments on and memes that people are coming up, and it's like, honestly, at some point, as we said when we predicted it on this Potter show, we said at some point it's going to be the developer saying, "You're having them. We're going to give them. In fact, you don't even have to spend money opening and unlocking them. We're going to put it into your account, and you got them, and that's it."
I'm just afraid too, though, that eventually they're going to figure out some way of forcing you to have them. But I feel like they're going to end up being really good,
It might be,
and
but
that's the thing that kills me.
but this is the funny thing is I don't care. They could be the best stratagem that they're sitting on, and they're going, why don't they just take it? It's so good. But that's not the point. We are here for the memes. We are here to troll the developer and say, no, we don't want it. Give us something else.
But that's the best thing about it is that you guys are there for the memes, and every single time and every single thing that you're doing seems to be for the memes, and for whatever reason, they're just going with it. And I feel like they're doing this like kill 1 trillion, you're going to get absolutely nothing, but if you don't, you get these, and people are just going to be like, yeah, we don't want them. And it makes me so happy.
Let's go, boys. Let's mobilize. Let's have a busy weekend. Let's do some
like it's
work.
so dodgy, but it makes me so goddamn happy.
Oh, it is. Oh, honestly, it cracks me up. The fact is today. So next week, I've got a very busy week between the new major update coming out on. Well, no, for me, it's my Wednesday, and then the new Warbond for the Fire Warbond comes out on the Friday. So I think so. I've got a busy week next week.
It's so dumb, but I love it.
Oh no! Honestly, I'm looking forward to the big update on Wednesday, just so I can see what else they've not shown us, because that's the thing I'm more intrigued by. Yeah, okay. Look at the stuff they're showing is cool. I'm interested. I'm on board for the interesting stuff already.
Yeah.
The fact is, they said, "Oh, we're not going to show you everything that's not that because we want to keep some air of mystery." Good, thank you, thank you. I want mystery. I want thing. Yes, please. Can't wait. So I'm very much looking forward to that. But I'm my Helldivers obsession is getting worse. it's gonna get a lot worse before it gets better.
I just love it because it's getting worse simply because the fact that they're trying to give you these damn mines and you're just like, no.
Well, it's really funny because I felt a sense of accomplishment like, what was it, about 3 weeks ago? I'd unlocked everything in the game.
Yeah.
So I unlocked all the war bonds, and I spent all the medals unlocking everything. Like, I'm even talking the banner things that you don't do anything.
The stupid stuff that people are like, I don't even.
I was like, screw it, because I'm losing medals anyway. I might as well just unlock everything as I'm going. And I unlocked all the ship modules. I was like, sweet. And I thought, I was playing with a group of guys in the States who I play with, and I said to them, I was like, oh, I've just unlocked my final module. That's it. I'm done. And they went, oh, hey. And we're like, yes, well done. Only one of them on their team had done it before. And I was like, sweet, great, no worries, crack on. And I went to bed that night and woke up and said, oh, we've released some new ship modules. I was like, God damn you, Joel. How dare you? I've only just completed it. It's like, for real.
It just makes it fun. Angry. It just makes me happy, though. Like, I must say, it's just... Yeah. It's 10 shades of crazy, but it just seems to make me happy that you guys are doing that.
I'm down to when they announced this new update, I was down to 2 modules. I only need 2 more to complete to be fully completed again. And I'm like, and I literally said to myself, oh, I'll go buy this one now. And I thought, oh, hang on. What if there's some really good stuff that comes out on Wednesday and I don't have enough samples to start unlocking all this cool stuff immediately? So I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to wait. I need to wait.
Oh, no.
Sort of thing. Because I'm literally, I think I'm like 1 mission, after last night, I'm 1 mission away from the next unlock sort of thing to get the next one unlocked. I'm like, and I haven't got time to grind up another horde.
You're like, so close.
So I've said to myself, right, I'm holding off, and then I'll smash it into whatever the new update is. And if there is nothing I can spend my samples on in the new update, then straight on to, I'll probably buy the more expensive module, and then the next one's cheaper. Yes. But yeah, so anyway, so that's what I wanted to discuss on that.
He's like, that's it.
That's it. Yeah, I'm sorry, I've rambled on for like 20 minutes talking about
because when you sent it to me, it's like, because I read it, and because you sent it to me while I was asleep. So when I woke up, I kind of read it, and I was like, that's a hell of a lot of zeros, and I'm like, yeah. And if I'm reading, and I'm like, I must be reading it wrong, because as far as I'm saying, it's saying you need to kill a trillion enemies, and if you don't, you get a prize. And I'm like, nah,
hang on, I don't understand. What's Jordan doctored this for? To say, well, no, you're meant to do stuff and get rewarded for it, not if you don't do stuff, you're going to get rewarded.
Yeah, I genuinely thought that you had made a mistake, or that it was, if I was reading it wrong, I'm like, yeah, I must just be half asleep. Yes. But then when I read it back, I'm like, this is ridiculous.
Oh yeah, no. The fact is, the developers are trying to force us to take this piece of asset they probably spent hours, maybe weeks working on, and they want to release it into the game, and we're going, no, thank you, we're good.
That's the thing. That's the thing that's kind of funny, and you kind of also feel a bit bad about because you're like, these guys are trying really hard just to help you out and give you these things, and you're just like, no,
No, we don't want that. Give us something else.
I really don't want it.
We don't want it. We don't want it. Give us something else. We want cool stuff. We want vehicles. We want a flying. We want to be able to fly. We want a flying vehicle. We want to be able to fly around the map and shoot things.
Or random things like a jetpack or something like that. Like,
oh, we've already got a jetpack. It sucks though.
Oh, okay.
Well, no, it's like a boost pack sort of thing.
Oh,
so
okay.
otherwise you just fly around, you'd be an absolute menace sort of thing. So it's like a short burst. So to be fair, if you time your run off of something, so if you're going to jump off something, you can actually fly a distance, sort of thing. But yeah, it's quite cool. But most people tend to jump onto the back of a battle tank or a charger and ride it like a rodeo. It's really funny.
That's pretty funny.
It is. Anyway, shall we discuss the
multicolor hula hoop games?
Hula hoop games? Yes, let's discuss that. So, it has been fascinating from start to finish. Mainly for the dumpster fire that this game.
Yeah, I know. It really has. So, like, I haven't heard, like, when you first said this, I was like, I haven't seen much of it, but there has been a couple of things that have just blown my mind. Like the fact that, like, the speed rock climbing.
Oh, I haven't heard this one.
Absolutely sick. So, literally what it is it's a wall, two people compete, they hit a buzzer, and they literally just go up the wall. And then they have different ones with and there's a couple of rock climbing ones, which is kind of cool. The second one they added, which also just seems like ridiculous, is break, which is just break dancing.
Okay.
which is just like, the hell. Like, don't get me wrong, like, I do think breakdancing takes a lot of skill. And for anybody that can do it, I'm amazed. The stuff you can do, awesome. But like, what the hell?
Yeah, nah. So some of the things that have occurred in this, like for a start off, all right. So they obviously set off with a mission to make it the most eco-friendly games available.
Yes,
number one. That was one of their mission statements, and fine. I applaud it. Well done.
Well, you obviously, as many people know, the UK, the EU especially, is really trying to drive home sustainability, led by obviously France and Germany, to really push that. So they have made this super eco-friendly.
Super eco-friendly. Yes, okay. Now, do I personally think cardboard beds was a good idea? Yes. Cardboard can be exceedingly strong, and if you manufacture it in a certain way, it can be. I mean, hell, I had a gaming table that was 6 foot. It was from a Kickstarter, and that thing was designed for playing Warhammer and other miniature war games on, and it was modular, and you could fit 6 of them together. It could be a 6 by 4 table, and it was immense. It was really good.
Yes.
And it was designed well. It could hold up weight. I'll tell you that right now.
Yeah.
However,
to be fair though, just before you get on about this, these beds have been recycled from the Tokyo games. So they actually were used in the Tokyo games prior, which is
and again, and that completely fine, absolutely fine with that. However, when I see, I think it was the Hungarian weightlifter.
Oh yes,
sit on his bed, and it looks like a throne. It looks like a small chair for this man.
Yeah.
Who thought that one size fits all when it comes to how hosting these games? Because there is no way. Because this is the reason why. Apparently, when the USA basketball team turned up to their assigned dorm and they saw the beds, they turned around and they actually went and bought a hotel for the entire booking thing, and they've rented out an entire hotel for all the players, all the staff, and they dropped like 20 million or something stupid like that.
But you think about it though, like some of the guys, like I know obviously the France has that new guy Victor Willamaris or whatever his name is, that I'm pronounce his name, but this young rookie who's 7'4". These are single beds, people, If they're
Yep.
lucky, they may be king singles, but I don't even think they're that.
No, I don't
And
think
can you
so.
imagine a
No.
7'4" man sleeping on a single bed? Like, to be fair, like he would have to pinch his housemate's bed and then put them end to end, and it would still probably only just fit him.
What I found funny is because on my TikTok algorithm I get random athletes popping up with their take while they're there at the games, and one of them I think it was the Canadian whatever team. I think it might be the netball team or something like that.
Hmm.
And they've said, "Oh, we can't wait to see what it's going to be like sleeping the first night on this." And literally the next like day later or so, there's another video up saying, "Oh my god, these are the worst beds to sleep on." And before you asked, I double checked. I thought I was sleeping on the firm side by accident because the top flips to be firm or soft.
Yes.
She went and double checked, and no, she was on the soft side. And she was like, "Oh, I don't know how I'm going to sleep another night on this bed." But luckily, her team manager, coach, admin person came through clutch. She'd ordered on Amazon Prime for next morning delivery was mattress toppers, so at least they could spread them out and have some sleep, sort of thing,
It's
which was
insane.
good.
Like it is insane. Like at one point, then they're like, "Oh, it's an anti," because they do it as well because it's supposedly an anti-sex bed. But
Oh yes,
watching
no,
this
yeah,
Australian girl run up and just jump on the bed, and you just see it. It was like it reminds me of when you see some of those videos where they run up and they jump into the water and they
yeah.
just hit ice and that's all it
Well,
is. That's what it felt like, and I was like, "Oh my god!" And you've got them jumping on beds, and the thing is not
I'll
moving.
tell you now, right? Listen, where there's a will, there's a way. Okay, and I'll tell you what, those beds are well too designed. Number one, so that's a failure in the design concept if
Yeah,
that was to be part of the design. But number two, no offense, how about I say, listen, when these people are all away in a different country, and what happens in the village stays in the village, as they say, you know, what's wrong with the floor?
but
Works.
what's the weirdest thing about all of it though is that though they had these anti-sex beds, they still had 30,000 condoms available for the athletes, which
No,
is
it's 300. It's
oh 300.
300.
Oh, I thought I still think it was still going to be like it was still something like 100 per athlete. I was like,
Yeah,
what the hell? But 300,000. That's like, why are you going, dude?
it's
These are anti-sex
yeah,
beds.
yeah. It is massive. It's yeah, but then again, to be fair. The fact is, no offense, when all these athletes get together and they're all high on testosterone anyway, they're all high on
Yeah,
adrenaline and testosterone, and the basal primal instincts take over at that point,
yeah.
logically. But yeah, but no, but I'm going to say the next thing I want to discuss, and it's going to be controversial.
Wait,
It is going
one
to be
thing I would
controversial.
say though is
Yeah.
also around the sustainability.
Yeah.
If you actually know that a lot of the athletes now are complaining because there's no protein, because
Oh no, yeah.
part of the
You mean the
sustainability,
vegan food they're
yeah,
serving them?
a part of the sustainability process that they did was also the fact that they were going to they thought a more plant-based diet because it's more sustainable. But then you've got these weightlifters and stuff that can't get any protein because
Yeah.
people that are going, they get there early because they know there's no meat. They pile it up because they need the protein, and there's only
Mhm.
like lean meats and chickens and stuff like that. So they're really trying to eat a lot more,
Yeah.
and you're
No.
just like, oh my god, these poor guys.
Yeah. No. The fact. Yeah. I did find it funny that there was an issue as well on. I think it was a couple of days in where there was undercooked meat and one whole team, and so like the the entire UK like delegate was informed, do not eat anything from the canteen. You are to order in and we are paying for it, sort of thing.
Far out.
Which, no offense to them, though, Paris, I guarantee that night was an expensive night. I'll tell you that right now.
Mate, yeah, I'm
So I
just
was like,
like it does shock me. Like some of these things that are going on, you're just like. But then the weirdest
I mean,
thing,
that's the thing though, is that like it's like, no offense, like if you're a bodybuilder or a weightlifter, they're scoffing like maybe 10,000 calories a day.
yeah, at least
How? And it's not like it's a new thing.
no,
It's not a new. This isn't a new concept in the weightlifting world or anything like this.
nope,
Since the dawn of time, it's he's a big guy. He's doing this big sport. He maybe needs to eat a bit more.
yeah,
It's pretty obvious. So them going, maybe if we just give him all the same stuff and
yeah.
it's really low protein.
Well, that's the weirdest thing. Like as somebody that was vegan, I
Mm.
must say it was your body though there is about 5 to 7% of the human population that can live off a vegan diet and get all the proteins from vegetables and stuff. That being said, it's not many. And the amount that you have to eat is probably 3 to 4 times what you have to eat when it's not that. And I must say, that was the thing that killed me. And I was like, I get that it's more sustainable in theory, but it only is if it's whole food. As soon as you start processing stuff like the milks and different things like that, it's not as sustainable as a lot of people think. Like,
as a question, I'm sure I asked this on the podcast at some point, but I can't remember. How was your first bacon sandwich after coming back into the fold?
Yeah, it was great. Oh, it was lovely. It was the greatest thing in the world. And I must say, and that's the thing though. Like I get that certain things, like I understand that some of the nitrates in bacon are really bad for you. Cured meat's really bad for you, and I completely understand that. Not saying that they're good for you, but like for example, the amount of water that it takes to make almond milk, soy milk, the sheer amount of crops that it takes to make a lot of these processed foods is astronomical. Like to make avocados, quite often they're killing like every insect that comes out there, which includes a lot of bees. There's so many different things that you're like, I kind of understand that there is a thing for that, and I do think people need to have more whole foods. I do think that they shouldn't be having the amount of meat. Like when you see those American barbecue platters, and don't get me wrong, Jordan and I would absolutely neck one of those in about 8 seconds flat and give zero fucks about the world in that moment. But we do eat way too much meat, and I do think that, okay, cool, smaller portions of meat, fine, more whole veggies, 100% good. But I do think that the problem is going completely plant-based, you're pretty much just doing the meat thing anyway. But like to be able to go, you can't choose what you're eating, this is what you're getting, you're like, bro.
Yeah, no, it is ridiculous. I mean, so the controversial thing I wanted to discuss was about the eligibility criteria of.
Oh,
how am I going to say this?
Is this the boxer?
Yes, this is specifically to do with a female boxer.
To be fair though, this one is a bit different. So for people out there that are saying this is a girl that holds a record of 9 and 5. So she's lost 5 times. She's not actually trans. She's what they call intersex, which means that what happened was, and this is probably going to be the most arcane way of saying this. She has an XY chromosome, but her balls never dropped. So she presents with all the female parts. She had all the female things growing up. That being said though, and the thing that I don't understand about this is I'm like, okay, cool, understand that. The Olympics have said yes, she was born a female, her passport's a female, she can do this. But what's weird though is the World Boxing Organization says no. The World Championships, which were a couple of months ago, which are like the lead up into the boxing, she was not allowed to do that.
Yeah, because of her testosterone.
Because of her high testosterone counts, and I do think that it's very hard in this case. And I know that I know that people are going to be like, oh, no, this, but that. So technically, she's not trans. Okay.
No, and I get where you're coming from, but the fact is that when you have, this is the thing I don't get about the Olympics, right? Surely the Olympics should take note of other governing bodies of eligibility criteria.
We're not allowed to say the word.
Oh shit! Oh, we can bleep it. You bleep it.
We'll bleep it.
It's your episode. You can bleep that. Right? Okay. Right. Surely the games should consider all the eligibility criteria of the world governing body of that sport.
Yeah, 100%.
Because pretty much, if it's a no from the world governing body who hold their world championships, and they go absolutely not, but then you have the games go, oh yeah, that's fine.
The only thing I would say is what they should have done is done the exact same test that the world governing body said and that the world championship did, was they go, okay, the issue was that her testosterone was too high. We understand that she's female or that she's intersex. That's fine. Let's now test to see what her testosterone is. And if she is that, that's fine. And this Italian boxer went down in like 36 seconds. But what's weird though is there's this Irish lass that has come out and just been like, yeah, I beat her. She's not that strong. And I do think that there could be a little bit of a...
Yeah, don't get me... I mean, I heard about it and I was like, oh, that doesn't sound very good. And then I looked into it and I was like, hey, yes, no, it's a very big grey thing. But immediately my brain was like, no, actually, to be fair, with eligibility criteria, they should be taking it from the world
Yeah.
The whatever world championship thing.
And even if the idea was, oh, but it's been several months since then, I'd be like, that's fine, but run the exact same test. If it doesn't meet those criteria, then you have to remove it. Because I guarantee, if a woman was taking testosterone leading up to it, even though she's a female and stuff like that, and they tested it and she had a high testosterone, chances are what would happen is they'd be like, yep, she's doping, and would boot her out of the Olympics. That's the thing that I find weird.
Well, I know that one of the, I think it was one of the China swimmers. Like there was a big controversy because the British guy who came third wouldn't shake his hand because he won because it's been known that he's been doping or something like that. For what I don't know. The second I heard that, I was like, hang on. So everybody knows he's doping, but he's still allowed to compete. That's a bit odd. Hang on, how's that work? So I was a bit confused by that. But it was a bit of a sort of thing. But everyone was more upset because he wouldn't shake the guy's hand. I thought, absolutely not. Hang on a minute. If you've beaten me and I know you're a cheat, absolutely I'm not shaking your hand. Absolutely not. I'm more applaud for the British guy going, absolutely not.
And I'm kind of also like, bro, how about you do the test now? Run a test on him. If it finds out that he's completely clear and he isn't doping, all right, I'll shake his hand then. But until he's passed that test, I'm like, I wouldn't be going anywhere. But I must say, I do think that this is the first case where we have had, I get that there's a lot of heat around trans athletes competing against the opposite sex. This is probably the only time where I'm like, I think this is open for a debate because she's been raised female. From every other things, she is female. This one, I would be like, okay, this is the 1 in a million case that I'm like, okay, I understand, and I think this needs to be looked into.
Definitely.
Some of the other ones, obviously, when you had Leah Thomas, I think that if that's going to happen, there needs to be, like, say, for example, open it up to a trans or to a non-binary thingo, and they can swim against each other.
Yeah. No, I think that'd be fine personally. Sort of thing. I think that's a.
But I do think they have their way in sport. But like, I do understand there is a lot of controversy around this, and we don't want to get too much into that.
No. So we're going to move swiftly on.
And then the other big thing, obviously, that caused a hell of a lot of controversy, which I think has been taken completely out of context, is the opening ceremony.
Oh God! All right, yeah, no, right.
So the funny thing is, and this is the thing that kills me, is that the opening ceremony, I do think that people didn't quite understand it because they looked at it and went, "This is definitely the Last Supper."
Yes,
and that's what it is. Why is there a headless woman there? Okay, and I think what we need to know is, so the headless women, or the people that were done as a headless woman, was Marie Antoinette. She ruled over France, and she was found guilty of treason and conspiracy and stealing from the country. So that's why they had there, because she was a powerful leader. She's a sign of that. The Last Supper thing is a bit of a weird, because this is actually a depiction from the Greek festivals they used to have, where they used to pretty much get absolutely shit-faced, and it would be only men that were invited. It would be for the god Dionysus, depending on how you want to pronounce it, is for fertility, for grapes, for pleasure. And what would happen is there'd be all men going there. Pretty much they'd get pissed up for 5 days. Some of these men would dress as women, and some of them would get down and dirty. But because it was for the gods, it was all golden.
Yep, and that's all sweet.
And then the other one was that they were going, oh, there's death on a pale horse, which was this beautiful woman in on this horse, and they went, oh, that's death. Why have they got death here? That wasn't. That was a goddess of the Seine River, and in which I think it protects boats or boat possession, or helps the boat procession go through.
Like that,
and people were losing their mind because they brought death out, and I'm like, I can understand like the depiction. There was some, like, when you first look at it, you'd be like, whoa, wait a minute, this could be the Last Supper.
I think what didn't help with the case is that the commentators weren't given a heads up.
They were useless.
So they could have maybe voiced it initially, saying, "Oh, this is all based off of Greek mythology." They've done a bit of a build. Because this is the thing, right? I found that the Paris one was super weak. I just didn't. I think it wasn't as good.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll say it's not that. All right, not saying that the one I'm going to mention is better per se, because I don't think that one
was it like Atlanta,
like the Beijing Olympics, right?
Yeah.
The Beijing opening ceremony, very powerful, right? Powerful. I'm not saying good, but it was you know, sign of unity, and you know. So he
I
was
think
like,
the one thing that was beautiful about other Olympics that this one struggled with is that the countries walked. You got to see them go around rather than going down the river. And then what happened is they stood in little groups. So there were people talking. You could see them interacting. There was this bond of the games there. Where with this one, they just kind of went down the river on boats and then you didn't see them. And it was kind of like...
it was super. I didn't like that. I mean, however, I do like the one little thing I do like. I do like the Olympic flame this year.
Yes.
Sorry, I said the word again. You have to play me twice now.
We're going to leave in all the swear words. Like he's going to be like shit, fuck, bullshit, and then it's going to be just that word.
The flame is cool because the fact that it's a hot air balloon and it looks really good, sort of thing. I like that, especially as it's up in the air and all that jazz. But to be fair, there's one thing about the entire Olympics so far that stole the show, and that is the fact that it's Snoop Dogg. Yes, sorry, I can't help it.
Is what? Sorry,
it's Snoop Dogg.
Snoop Dogg is great. Have you seen him? He's got this little pin that has Snoop Dogg's head, and he's doing this, and it looks like he's blowing rings, but the rings are the different hula hoop colors.
The different colors. It's brilliant. I like them. It's so funny because I enjoyed it when he did. Because was the UK one that he commentated on for HBO?
I think so.
I think it was. But oh my god, him and Kevin Hart together were funny. No. They were really good. I love it. It's like I watched them watching highlights of their stuff because it was just funnier to watch.
Yeah.
You know, like there's the cut that went viral of him talking about it's the dressage event. And it's where the horse is doing its entire thing and all that jazz. And he went, "Oh my god, this horse is crip walking!" And he's howling and laughing. He said, "Oh my god, I need to get this." He says, "I need to get this horse."
And the whole time there's just smoke in the background. And I must say, the highlight of the games to me has been the young Turkish man, the 51-year-old mechanic that literally rocked up in black jeans and what looks like the Turkish soccer top in just glasses. Like, he was amazing.
Right.
So,
we need for a start off. We're going to break this down, right? Okay. So for a start off, before we get to Yusuf,
I'm in love with Yusuf, man.
Is the fact is that what I think I found funny, and what was really funny, it was a TikTok that propped up saying, and it starts off saying, "I don't think Australia got the memo," and I thought, "Oh, this is interesting." So I watched it, and you see the different fashion outfit choices the different countries have.
Yeah.
Okay, and some of them look really cool, really straight, really edgy, and I'm like, yes. And then it pulls up Australia, and they look like they're off to a secondary school prom in their uniform.
Oh god.
And it's the pencil skirts and everything.
Yeah. Like, when they announced that, everybody looked at it because it was like they're trying to be super corporate, but I'm like, you do realize that these guys aren't CEOs; they're like athletes. Let them go comfy.
It cracks me up. It's just like it's like they've got the blazer jackets and the girls got the pencil skirts and the blazer jackets and all this. They all look like they're off to school. Whereas you've got the Japan team and they're in these Fila black.
That look amazing.
Suit. But quite frankly, I saw that and I went, "Damn, that looks quite nice, actually."
Yeah,
it's very 90s. Every other team looks super 90s, and I'm like, I quite like that as well. Oh, that's not bad over there. I might say, but yeah. But then the fact that, and then obviously I saw the women's champion shooter who got a medal, whatever it is, and she's from Japan, and she looked absolutely sick.
Yeah,
this black, thing, and she's got all the gear on. She looks like, and she's taking the shot, and I'm like, damn, that woman looks.
But it is funny because they've got like lenses here to block out one eye. Yeah. They've got this thing here that looks like it's like a magnifying glass. They've got something here that's like anti-glare. They've got this hat on to keep it from like bouncing off lights and stuff. And then they've got, and then some of them have these lead stands. Like, have you seen? There's this rifleman, and he's doing this, and he's got his booty out, kind of like Kim Kardashian, and She Broke the Internet, and then he's putting the gun here, and I'm like, I don't know a single person that could shoot like that.
Yeah,
and it's just ridiculous.
It is a weird thing the way that world works. But then we were all delighted with Yusuf.
I'm just shattered that he didn't win the gold.
No. Do you know the best? Right, so it was the mixed event and all that shit. And the best thing is, do you know what the best thing about his shot was? It's not the fact of his look or the fact of his lack of gear. My opinion, the best thing of it, He has both eyes open.
Yeah.
Listen, right? Okay, I mean, I've shot guns, I've shot pistols, I've shot of a wide variety of
I've shot
weapons.
just
Right?
about every gun under the sun.
I've not quite. No, I've not quite. But I'll tell you what, I have never ever had both eyes open when I'm shooting.
No.
It's no. You have one shot. You have one shot shut, so you can take away depth perception. you've got to be able to sort of focus and take out one side. So that's the entire reason they have these stupid caps on with
Yeah.
the bloody patches
But
and all that
it
crap
just made me
anyway.
so happy because he just like it literally just looked like you know when you go down to like you might go down to an archery thing and you got people with compound bows and all this specialty stuff, and then you just got a guy that's gone up, hired a bow and just shooting for the first time. That's what it looked like. And then the thing that I find even funny is he shot a near perfect score, and the first thing he's done is just thrown his gun on a chair and just went, "Where's the smoking area?" I'm like, which makes me feel like that if he could, he would have done the whole thing shooting with a fag sticking out of his mouth.
Oh yeah, no, it does. It does kind of make you think that. Do you reckon if he was actually smoking a cigarette at the same time, he would have aced it?
That's all right.
It does. I like the theory before all the information came out about that. Yeah, he's a mechanic and all this stuff. The internet was rife gone. Yeah, he's gonna be a hitman. He's gonna be a hitman. This guy has been doing this every day of his life. You can tell. This man is stone cold.
But what's the weirdest thing is now all these details are coming out. So this is a man that has only taken shooting up recently, and the reason why he did was because he was going through a horrible divorce, and he needed an outlet for how he was feeling. Then somehow he's naturally that good that he ended up making the Turkish team, and now he's taken out silver with a near perfect shooting thing in just normal black jeans and what looked like a Turkish soccer top. Yeah. And supposedly he hasn't even been doing it that long. Like he started after the Japanese Olympics, which was 3 years ago. And somehow he's just honestly, popped silver.
It was amazing. I mean, to be fair, the only other amazing guy is that the pommel horse guy from the States. Have you seen him?
No.
So they've got the way apparently the gymnast thing works is that you compete as a team.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not individual. Fine, whatever.
I think there is an individual event, but yeah, it's normally a
there
team.
are individual events, but for this specific one, it's graded on points and blah, and so you're graded as a full team. So the USA brought this one guy, literally specifically only for pommel horse. He spent 2 hours sat with his eyes closed, basically zoning himself.
Oh yes, I've seen that with the glasses, and he looks
he's got glasses, he's cross-eyed and everything else. But of course, he went and he helped them win the medal.
Yeah, I remember. Actually, no, I have seen that too.
First medal in 60 years or some shit.
Yeah, for the men's, and the women's obviously won gold. But that was the weirdest thing because I remember seeing it, and like somebody does a really great job. His entire team is going nuts, and he's just sitting there looking like the analyst for the team, going like, I don't even know what happened. Like I know they sent me here. I'm pretty sure I was meant to be on the horse thing, like the horse racing, not here, but I'm here. So he's just sitting there, and there's like no emotion. There's no excitement. And then obviously once he does that horse and comes off, it was breathtaking, and you're like, and then he finally showed emotion. But for 2 hours he sat there like it. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of when you see some dads watching their kids play sports and they do not give a shit, but mum's made them come there and they're just like, whatever. And that's what it felt like.
Your child.
Yeah, and you're like, but he sucks so bad. He's the worst on the team. And you're just like that's what it felt like. And then he came out and ripped everybody and your butthole, and then he suddenly all of a sudden goes, "Oh, I've discovered human emotion." Like it was literally like he'd done the pommel horse, and then his kid randomly kicked a goal, so he got excited, and that was the only emotion we saw from him.
No, what's really funny is the TikTok algorithm. You know, women have gone crazy for him.
Oh, really?
They're like, oh my! Even though with all because obviously because they've seen how he works a pommel horse, so they've all gone a bit mad. But now they're all really good because they've found out that he's got a girlfriend of 10 years.
Aww.
So everybody, all the females who were chasing after him are now livid, knowing that he's
Poor things.
That's so crazy.
It is weird though. Like, but it has been a very bizarre kind of thing, I will say.
It is, honestly. No, it's been fun. I am interested. I don't know if I want to watch it because normally I always enjoy watching the closing.
Yeah.
And seeing what's coming next sort of thing. But yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to enjoy it or not.
Yeah, I don't know. Like this game has felt really weird, and I think the problem is though is because you're used to the games being this kind of stadium sport. So you're like, oh, this is awesome. We're going to do this,
Yeah.
and because they've taken him out of the stadium and putting him down the river and stuff, it just feels a bit out of place, and it doesn't feel right. And I think
it might be good actually, because I've just realised it's LA next one. LA is the next one, so it
going to
should
be
be
huge. LA's going to be
pretty
huge.
big. It might be actually worth watching.
I must say though, I love the Atlanta. Melbourne's got one in 2032.
Oh, sweet! So I'm coming over, yeah.
If you want, man,
Brisbane.
my house should be built. Is it Brisbane? Or is it...
It's Brizzy. Brizzy, it says.
I thought it was Melbourne in 2032.
No, it says Brizzy, according to this.
Really?
Yeah. But yeah, by Brisbane 2032. And maybe they've got some events down spread across a couple of the states, maybe.
Well, that's all right, man. I don't really want it, to be fair. Like, it causes absolute freaking chaos. So I'm okay with that.
But yeah. So anyway, yeah. Well, I think we'll wrap it up there. Otherwise, we'll just rib it on and you'll have to be editing more to deal with me bleeping.
Yeah, I know. But it has been weird. Like, this game's hasn't felt the same. Like, when the Olympics are on, quite often we get really into it. I said these games, didn't I?
No, you didn't.
I said these Olympics. I don't care. Don't care anymore. Like, to be fair though, if they're going to sue us, what are they going to get? Like 12 cents in a fucking a half-eaten packet of chips. But like, it does feel weird. Like, these games haven't felt the same. Where we like normally when they're on, they're on. They seem to be televised all the time, and these ones just seem to be like a bit.
I think what my opinion, what went wrong with this one is the fact is, so Sky's got the rights, which is fine. They've got the rights, but the fact is that like the last one, I was able to watch it all on TVNZ. And it was like, so it was sweet as, but yeah, the fact that I have to pay for Sky, and Sky wanted to charge me, what was it? It was $80 for the entire thing, and I'm like, no offense, nah. I mean, the opening and closing, yes, and then maybe a couple of sports here and there, but nah, I'm good. I'm not, it's not worth $80. I think it might have been more than $80. I can't remember exactly, but yeah, I was like, nah, I'm good.
One thing I forgot about the opening ceremony, did you see the guy that was all controversy because supposedly his nut had fallen out of his costume?
No.
There was a dancer, and it was all over Twitter, and I didn't see this at first, and I was like, I would have noticed somebody's nut hanging out of the bottom of their little shorts, and it's got this still shot, and it's got this sort of circle here, right at the bottom of his pants. You're like, what the hell? I'm like, has his nut literally dropped out, and he's just standing there with it on camera and okay with it? And then when you actually see it, and you actually see the video of it go across, you can see the side of his leg and it goes flat. And then obviously, he's obviously wearing some kind of stockings and there's a run in it. But the still shot just looked like it was a just good old nut had just come out to say hello. And I was like, what the hell? But then, yeah, when you actually watch it, you're like, that's kind of ridiculous. Like, it actually wasn't too bad.
Oh, well. God knows. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen, we want to say a big thank you. We're going to wrap it up there because I'm trying not to make it all our episodes stupidly long.
Yes.
I know we got a bit of a transition break. You need to sort that out. Anyway, I want to say a big thank you to all our recent followers, likers, subscribers. Please make sure you do like, share, and subscribe. You can find us available on all good podcast software, and see our beautiful faces on Spotify and YouTube at Dogs Down Under. I am still attempting to get this stupid camera fixed. It'll work at some point. Anyway.
So what is it? Is the light not working, or?
Oh no, it's the software won't play nice with Discord, or Discord's not playing now. I don't know.
Which is weird because I'm using the same. I'm pretty sure I'm using the same mic and also the same.
I don't know. I might revert. I might try and revert back on Logitech Capture to see if I can fix it that way. But anyway, much love, people. Peace out.
Later.
Stay safe. We'll see you next week.
Hopefully.